Welcome to the show. Let's talk to Matt Brown. Very good morning to you,
Good
Matt.
morning.
Happy Friday. Right, let's kick off with the headlines. Brexit breakthrough and Bitcoin mania. I know which one I'd rather talk about, but let's Brexit for one moment. So the serious stuff now begins, I guess.
Yes. Look, a deal's been agreed, and I'll hold my hands up. Yesterday, I think I was saying it probably next week. Or look, a deal's been done. Well done, Theresa May. All looks pretty good. All parties seem happy, and that's the important thing. But what does it actually mean? The hard business is yet to come.
Yep.
I mean, all this is done is just open the door to the committee rooms for further discussions. You've got some hard talk. Trade deals need to be done, and I think everyone's patting themselves on the back a bit too much regarding this. It was the first hurdle. We're over it. There's a lot more to come.
Understood. Right, Bitcoin mania is up, I think, in excess of 70% this week.
Incredible. I mean,
Front page of all the newspapers.
Exactly. I mean, touching $17,000. Some exchanges $18,000 yesterday. I mean, it's just been phenomenal. A huge rise. We'll see this weekend. We've got the futures contract going live, I believe, on Sunday evening in the US for the CBOE. Maybe a little bit of a sell-off on Monday. Who knows? I mean, it's hard to predict. And the worrying thing as well to look at is these exchanges won't be open over the weekend. Generally, I mean, this will open on the futures on Sunday, but Bitcoin trades on a Saturday afternoon, Saturday morning, Friday night, or the middle of the night. So there's going to be price disparities, there's going to be opportunities, there is going to be arbitrage galore. Unfortunately for the everyday investor, you may not have access to that. So the institutional market now can make money until the cows come home, and it's going to be interesting to see next week.
As a headline, Saxo Bank have suggested it could be an upside target of $60,000. Right, let's talk for FTSE one to watch. Berkeley Group, I should say. What has caught your attention?
Yeah, the property group, some good numbers today. Updated the market, doing very well. The stock's up 9%. Revenue is up about 14% year on year. And more importantly, their guidance, they've raised by 10%. So the company's doing well. It's a good story. It's property again. A few issues. Like all these property companies, they do put a caveat of Brexit in their numbers. What does that mean with the outlook being a little bit uncertain? But I say upgrading the guidance and performing very well.
We've had Hammerson go for Intu this week at a 28% premium.
The commercial property side, that's there will be consolidation there, and there has been. Hammerson actually did very well to pick up the assets from Intu, underperforming assets. Yep. So there may be some more consolidation in the space to come, certainly next year.
I was going to say, let's take a look at small caps, but I'm not sure that ASOS is a small cap anymore. Discover Fashion Online. What's happening there today?
I mean, it's obviously on the small cap market, on the AIM listed market, 5 billion market cap. I think that's close to, if not above, Marks and Spencer. So the online retailer doing very well, but downgraded today by Morgan Stanley. Very bold call. They've cut ASOS to underweight versus Equalweight, which is basically a sell rating. Target of £50. Stock's currently trading at 59. So maybe they're seeing the market's got a bit too ahead of itself and excited about online retail. But that's a bold call from Morgan Stanley.
Okay, let's talk the currencies. The Great British Pound against the US dollar, 134.81. Briefly above 135 this morning. Euro Great British Pound cross 87.07. Hooray!
Yeah, Great British Pound doing well. And we spoke about kind of the move. It would move to the upside if we saw this part of the Brexit negotiations be cleared, and it has been. May start to trickle back. I mean, again, we've seen this. Whenever there's a big announcement, the pound will rally. It's seen as a positive, but then people will start to digest actually what that means. And the trade deals, they're going to go on. So we may see the pound just drift a little bit down.
Okay, let's talk broker upgrades, downgrades. Vodafone today. I was saying off air that they really have, on a relative basis, underperformed, but Barclays are suggesting now an overweight target of £2.80.
I mean, Vodafone used to be a very exciting stock to trade back. I mean, it traded like water. It was almost like cash. It was a huge constituent on the FTSE. and exciting to trade, and investors used to like it. It shifted from that technology mobile phone company into a utility company, a boring kind of utility company, and the market got a bit kind of bored of that. And however, numbers released recently have been positive. They're showing a good, strong performance now, a bit of growth coming through into the company, moving into the next stage, next era. On the back of that, as you see, Barclays going overweight from Equalweight, trading around the 230 level. So Barclays, fair play. It's got to their previous target. Now they're saying,
well, that's a proper upgrade, isn't it?
That's buy coming off to the moon.
Okay, let's talk core numbers today. $60,000. What is this number?
Well, you sport my surprise. This was the report by Saxo Bank saying Bitcoin next year could get to $60,000.
But I see there was a caveat. It could go to 60,000 before going back to $1.
Exactly, it's their outrageous calls, and if you ever get hold of them, always look at them. Saxo Market, they give a good kind of preview of what 2018 they're going to do, with a few interesting things just put in just to whet the appetite and get the headlines as they, hey, well done Saxo, you're on core finance.
And they're on the front pages of all newspapers. Right, let's wrap up the economic calendar. Obviously, non-farm payrolls today, the big number of the month.
Yeah, exactly. Look out for non-farm. Housing starts in Canada can actually move the Canadian dollar, so if you're trading that, look out for that. GDP estimate for the UK at 1 o'clock, but it is non-farm payrolls expected to come in just under 200,000 jobs added for the last month. But as I've said before, look out for the wage growth. That is key. Now, if we see that tick up, certainly that helps. Well, the Fed are going to raise rates next week, and I'll eat my hat if they don't.
Yep.
But what it means is, how are they looking into 2018? Will that mean 3 rate hikes with average wage growth, potentially getting up to 2.8%, 2.9% year on year? That's getting close to the 3% target, and it will get the hawks going if we see that. So certainly look out for that for the dollar. One thing to note, Chinese data this morning has been fantastic, and it's kind of got unnoticed by the market simply because of this Brexit news, but China is performing well, and the miners at some point and the oil producers should get a little bit of a bump.
Well, on the flip note to that, we've seen the IMF this week basically suggest that 4/5 of the Japanese banks are vulnerable, which makes me very, very nervous. And then I read this morning there's signs of a slowing growth in China, with the Bloomberg Commodity Index has fallen 4% in the past month.
It will rally again. China's going great guns.
Mr. Super Bowl, Matt, thank you very much indeed.